welcome back to my channel. This video is about Spezia and Cinque Terre. I'm sorry if I pronounce any of these names wrong, but I'm not Italian, and I did try looking it up in advance, but I'm still not Italian. So we arrived in Spezia, and we spent basically the whole day here, and then the next following 2 days we spent in Cinque Terre, and this is our hotel. This was my favorite hotel from the whole trip, just because the outside is really beautiful and the inside was also really nice. The only thing is it doesn't provide luggage storage, but we asked them if we could leave our bags and they let us leave them, so it wasn't a big deal. But as you can see, there's a really nice balcony that overlooks La Spezia and the mountains. And the location of this hotel is really convenient because it was located really close to the train station, which is really convenient for going to Cinque Terre and also coming into La Spezia and leaving. And this hotel is a very small hotel where they only have a few rooms, and you have to notify them in advance and tell them when you're going to be there. That's how all of our hotel stays were on this trip, but it wasn't really too big of an issue. After we arrived at the hotel, we decided to explore La Spezia, and we just kind of walked around and looked at all of the really pretty buildings. I wasn't really sure what to expect because I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about La Spezia, because I feel like a lot of people just go to Cinque Terre and not stay in La Spezia or not really explore La Spezia, but it definitely has really pretty architecture and it is super colorful as well. And then we got food. We just got this seafood. It was pretty good but not that great. And then after eating, we walked out by the water, and that was really cool because you could see all of the boats in the marinas and the fishing boats. And I grew up boating, so I love being around boats, and I always love being around marinas, so it made me feel really happy being in this area. And then we made our way over to this hilltop. We climbed a bunch of stairs, and then we walked towards this castle, which is now a museum. It's called Castello San Giorgio. We didn't go inside because I don't think it was actually open by the time we came up here, but there's a really nice view of the city from up here, and there's actually a cable car type thing that you can take up here, and we ended up taking it down, and it is free. You just press the button like an elevator, and it was really cool. And then after this, we went shopping at Zara, and then we walked back to our hotel for dinner, and we got carry-out pizza, which was pretty good. I'll try to find the name of it. And that's all for La Spezia. The next morning we went to Cinque Terre, and the first city that we went to is Cornelia. I'm pretty sure it's Cornelia, but I feel silly saying that. But we decided to go here first because there's a ton of stairs that you have to climb up to the city, and because we went in the morning, it was not hot at all, so we didn't really have a lot of trouble climbing all of those stairs. And the city was super empty. Like, there was barely anyone here when we came, and it was really nice. We could just wander around without having like a bunch of tourists around. And I can't exactly remember what time we arrived at, but I think it was maybe around like 7:30 or something. And if you want to avoid tourists, I recommend you go really early. It wasn't super crowded when we were in Cinque Terre, but I know it can be like super crowded if you go during summer. We went in early October and it wasn't terrible, so try to go during the off season if you can. And in terms of getting around each city, we got the 2-day train pass for the regional train, which gives you unlimited train rides for 2 days and then access to the restrooms at the train stations for free, because otherwise you do have to pay. and it can be pretty difficult to find a restroom in these cities like much of Italy. Basically, while we were in Cornelia, we just kind of wandered around the streets, did a little bit of shopping. I got this cappuccino at this cafe, and then we went on to the next city because we were visiting 3 cities in the first day. And we didn't do any of the hikes between the cities just because we didn't really have time, and we were already walking so much on this trip. And then the next city we came to is Monterosso, and this was definitely one of my favorite cities. Honestly, it's really hard to choose which one is my favorite, but this one really stood out to me just because of the view of the cliffs and the way the buildings are just kind of like on top of the cliffs. It also feels like there's a lot to do in this city compared to Cornelia. It seems like it's bigger and, I don't know, just a little bit more entertaining, I guess. And we tried focaccia at this shop that I just showed, and this was so amazing. It was really good. I recommend going there if you get a chance. It was definitely one of my favorite things that I ate on this trip. And then we walked to the edge of the city to get the view from this viewpoint. The next city that we visited is Rio Maggiore, and this was also another one of my favorite cities, I think just because the way the buildings are on the rocks. I just think it looks so beautiful and super unique. And when you arrive to the train station here, you have to go through a tunnel and then you go down, and that's where you get the viewpoint from here. You can climb out on the rocks, and there's also kind of a break wall you can go on, but we didn't go out there. We just sat on these rocks and looked at this amazing view. And then we walked up into town and just explored the streets, and I did a little bit of shopping. I bought, I think, a t-shirt and a few other things maybe. And then by this time we got hungry for dinner. I really wanted pasta because I hadn't had enough pasta on this trip, and I wanted to get something with pesto because this is kind of the area where it's from. So we came across this place that is takeout pasta, and you can eat it on this little balcony area. And it was really good and pretty affordable too. And then we just went back down and watched the sunset before returning to La Spezia. next morning we went to Monterosso al Mare, and this is a town that has beaches. This town is kind of split on two sides with this big mountain in the middle, and you can go under the tunnel or you can walk around the front near the water. And if you go around the front, I don't remember if you had to go on top of this mountain or if we just chose to walk on top of the mountain, but you definitely get a really pretty view, and it's worth it if you want to walk to the top. You can see both sides and you can see out over the sea. And then we went down the other side and walked into town, and we were hungry, so we went into this cafe and I got this focaccia sandwich, which was really good unexpectedly, but there were a bunch of flies. And as we were walking along, we came across cannolis, which I still had yet to try. This one's lemon. After that, we walked up the other side of the mountain. It's hard to explain this, but this way you get a view of the other side of Monterosso al Mare and the other beach. And then we walked back down and we sat at the beach for a while. My husband went swimming in the water. I didn't bring my swimsuit, so I just went in like up to my knees. But the water was so clear and so nice. If you are here during a nice day, I recommend bringing a swimsuit. And this is the beach that is like on the opposite side of the train station. Some of the beaches you have to pay for a chair to go to, and this one is free. After this, we went to Vernazza. And this is Vernazza. This was the most crowded town out of all 5. I don't know if it's just like the time of day that we came, or if it's more popular than the other ones. I'm not really sure, but it was very busy, but we still had a lot of fun, and of course it's beautiful. The first thing that we did is walk down by the sea where you can get this good view, and after that we walked up, I guess, the right side when you're facing the city, and we went up to this tower. I think it was a couple of euro to climb the tower. I'll try to find the exact name of it and write it on the screen, but you can get this really good view of the entire city and the mountains and everything, and it was definitely worth it. And then after that climb up the tower, we wanted gelato because we were really hot, and it was pretty good. After that, we got calamari for dinner, and then we took the train back to Spezia, and then took another train to Florence that evening where we stayed in a hotel, and the next morning we went to Venice. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel if you think that you will get anything out of it. I'm planning to make a video of Venice next. Thanks for watching.